Yeah, so I'm gonna be in Vegas on Saturday. Well, I'll be watching the game out there. It didn't dawn on me when I made my travel plans. I was like, oh man, who comes out for the San Jose State game? But Mike Tortolot is coming out for the San Jose State game. That's who. So yeah, I won't be there. I'll be there Wednesday though. Utah
Yeah.
State. That'd be a dope one. It's always good to play Utah State at home.
I'll be fascinated to see that game. I know Fiends isn't a fan of Utah State.
The final 10 seconds. Stevens charging. He ties it up. Late game magic once again for Isaiah Stevens. 10 seconds on the timer. One handed out to Parrish. Tries the three and he hits. Butler gives it to Bradley and he's got a three. They're 3 for 3 in the extra frame. From behind the
Air Force and San Diego State just underway. Trammell pushes. Nice drop. Ledee, left hand, bucket, and a free throw. Keyshawn Johnson got the three. That's a rare three from Johnson. San Diego State on this road trip, sort of, through Colorado. An overtime win at Colorado State, and here surviving a furious comeback from Air Force.
Okay, it is a Kiss the Rings Sons of Montezuma podcast episode. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Mateo San Diego, and I am joined by, of course, Master Fiend. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him, Fiend. Good to see you, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. A little under the weather. I got a little bit of cough, so I'm going to try to put everything on mute if I need to.
Yeah, man, it's going around. I'm feeling you, man. It's you, me, and Adam Seiko. We're all feeling under the weather. And we got the basketball and sandwich aficionado, Mike Tortolot. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you.
What's up, guys? I'm excited to see you guys this week. How was that sandwich, man, at Compane?
Okay, so Mike Tortolot lived up to his sandwich aficionado label that I gave him. I went over to Con Pane there in Liberty Station, and literally that sandwich was the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. I have no hesitation saying it. It was the turkey cob, which I already love Cobb salads. Got it on the Kalamata olive bread, and it was life-changing, dude. It was packed with flavor. Every bite was like a new flavor. The bread just set it off. I'm definitely going back. Absolutely.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I post all my sandwiches on Reno Sando Guy on Instagram just because I like to post them just to give pub to stuff. But I've always said, like, Compani's number one. There's a place up here called Deli Town that's probably number two. But, like, you know, there's Compani is just like, they changed the bread when the Cohens bought it after they got shut down before COVID. And so they changed the sourdough and the bread. It was a little crunchy on the end, you know, the outside. So you would kind of cut your mouth a little bit, not a lot, but this bread is so much softer now. And it's so moist and just like, oh, it's an orgasmic experience for the senses.
The Cone Group is like taking over San Diego, man. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they do good stuff, man. And then when they bought that, I'm like, yeah, we're good. But they did a good job, man. But that sandwich place, I'll be there Wednesday. I'm probably gonna go there first thing Wednesday.
I might have to hit it up,
bro. It's bomb. Antonelli's out in El Cajon is probably up in the top 3 or 4 too, if you get a chance to get out there.
So definitely go check out Reno Sando Guy on Instagram. A lot of good sandwich porn going on out there in Reno. But yeah, so thank everybody for listening. This is our 97th episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast, and it's a Kiss the Rings episode, guys. I was eating my celebration sandwich there because the Aztecs, they beat Colorado State in overtime. When was that game? That was Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it went into overtime, guys. I wrote in our little recap article that we're talking about college ball. We're not talking about NBA. It's not like you have 2 games in Colorado and you could just go from Fort Collins and then just go back down the opposite direction down to Colorado Springs and play Air Force. Like, the team had to go all the way back to San Diego. You know what I mean? Go to classes, get your practice in, whatever you got to do, heal up, and then got to fly back out to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. So during all that madness, of course, I guess Adam Seiko came under the weather. I'm assuming it's because of that tough travel. You know, the guys after that overtime win, guys. I mean, this is early in the morning. These guys getting back to Montezuma Mesa. That game kind of freaked me out. It went into overtime. What are you guys' initial opinions on that crazy 82-76 game against Colorado State?
I thought they gave us a bigger scare than I thought we were going to get from them. When we came out flat, seemed like the first 5 minutes, we were not hitting shots, and they hit some really tough 3-pointers against us. And so, we dug ourselves into a hole pretty early that we had to climb out of, and it was not easy. And it seemed like, we closed the gap a little bit and then they'd surge ahead. Then we closed the gap even more. They surge ahead. We just kept clawing and we didn't get the lead. It seemed like we did get the lead once in the first half, but then we didn't get it back until the second half. So it seemed like we were always playing from behind until the very end.
It was great to see Lamont Butler come out, 19 points, and Lamont just turned it on. He was aggressive, took it to the rack, was hitting his shots. Isaiah Stevens, he wasn't their leading scorer, but the dude just he was a physical freak out there. I mean, every play he was making was pretty dynamic physically. His hang time on some of those, takes to the rim. Mike, what stood out to you, man?
He scored 16. The leading score was 17. That guy Lake just had he had a career high. I remember he was, I don't know, he didn't average 17 points a game. I know that, but he had a good game. He just kept making 5 of 7 from 3. And Stevens, like Fiend said, it's like 3-to-1 turnover or assisted turnover ratio or something like that. And 16, 11, and 5. He's like, I think we talked about it. I said, you got to stop Stevens and then let somebody else beat you. And they all kind of picked up their game. But I mean, with Bradley kind of, not taking off until the last, 2, 4, 5 minutes of the game, really. And then he put it all together. I like Butler when he's playing fast and aggressive. He's just, he did that and they weathered the storm. Like I remember I was listening to the guys on the telecast and they said, everybody's, everybody knows kind of what San Diego State's going to do. So they try and mix it up a little bit, and maybe they mix it up a little bit better than we're ready for lately, but we still figure out a way to win. And, that's a tough win. And, going up there with the whiteout and it was snowing in the weather, coming back to San Diego where it was, I don't know what it was down there, 60 or something, going from basically 25, 30 to 60 and then getting in early and then going back. I mean, that could take havoc on your immune system, and then going back up to Air Force when it's cold too and snowing as well, especially at altitude. But they found out a way to win. Keyshaw had another solid game, 5 and 7. Mensa is I'm ready for him to break out here at some point. When I don't know. I mean, Bradley had a good game, and so did Butler. So we kind of had an idea, and we talked about it. Arope is the cog. I mean, we were 6-1 in conference, and the one game that we lost was when Arope didn't play.
Yeah, you bring up something interesting, and I kind of wanted to bug Fiend about it because I've seen a lot of chatter out there about the lineup, right? Mike brings up the point that we're waiting for Mensa to kind of go off. We're so deep, everybody's going to have one of those breakout games, but we're kind of waiting for that. But, and big props to you, yourself, Fiend, Tyler Purchase, Mike Manyares, all the guys that are writing our preview articles and recap articles. We said that this win could be a sign of things to come because it looked like Dutcher was messing around with some of the lineups on the floor. What did you see in that game that potentially could be moving forward in some of those, matchups and some of those lineups that Dutcher used in that game?
Couple of things. I really like the combination of AG and Ladie on the floor, or, KJ and Ladie on the floor. Having those two bigs, especially against a team like CSU, who I called them out in the preview article that they were soft. And we did dominate them on the boards, but having those guys on the floor at the same time who are just our hustle guys and get rebounds and sort of do the dirty work for the team is really valuable. And I'd like to see more, if he's healthy, AG out there with Ladie on the floor, with KJ. I mean, between those three guys, and then you throw in the rebounds that Mensa got. I mean, we dominated on the boards, and that's exactly what we needed to win that game. One of the things I really liked in that game was how Parrish played. I don't think he missed a shot in that game, did he? Well, he was 5 of 5, I think.
Yeah.
And he hit some really, really big shots. I mean, he had that dunk that kind of helped us come back, I think, in the first half, and then he hit the 3-point. I think was it a 4-point play that he hit in the second half?
I believe he did.
so.
Where he got fouled. Yeah. I mean, so he made some really big threes in this game, and so I mean, between him and Butler, I think those are my two MVPs against CSU. And then just in the overtime period, we had the ball in, I think it was Bradley's hands, and he was driving and kicking. We had 3 assisted 3-point shots. I think Butler had a nice 2-pointer, and Bradley had another shot that he made, and we just dominated them in overtime. But I liked how they were distributing the ball and we were making shots. I would love to see more of that moving forward. Sometimes you're just not on, you're just not hitting shots, but man, we really caught fire there, and it was nice to see the, just the movement, the ball movement and passing.
Yeah, and I think Mensa's presence out there is obviously his defensive presence, the rebounding presence. So having him kind of come out on the offensive side is just icing on the cake for the most part. But I hear what you're saying. I'd like to see him get some more touches. And one of the main reasons why I want to see him to get some more touches is because it's official. It's official. We, Sons of Montezuma, have signed Nathan Mensa to an NIL deal. He's on the Sons of Monty team. Now, Nathan and like so many other international players, they can't actively earn NIL money, but they can passively. So basically, we're designing our apparel items, and that is the perfect opportunity that anybody could support Nathan, and he can earn money through his name, image, and likeness, because he's not actively promoting it. He's not actively saying or doing or working for any kind of NIL money. So that t-shirt design that we're going to have come out, we're going to have some other merchandise items as well. Those are like right up his alley and perfect for what he can actually earn. So anyways, just want to throw that little plug in there because, it's big news for us. Anytime we get to partner with a player, especially somebody of Nathan's caliber, like that's a reason for some celebration.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I can't wait to see those shirts.
So this week, hopefully we'll be able to have those designs out there and ready for everybody to go check out. Yeah, but I totally agree with you. It was a lot better ball movement, like the offensive play. And so when you look at the game against Air Force, guys, can we chop it up to fatigue? Can we chop it up to, some of those issues like we said about traveling and the brutal Mountain West schedule traveling? I know Air Force came in, winning 3 games in a row, I believe, 3 conference games in a row. They were, but after watching that game, 70-60, the Aztecs won. We were up by 18 at one point, which isn't anything new, kind of squandering some big leads and stuff.
I was excited. I always look, I remember growing up when being from San Diego, I hated LA. I still do, but I love Kobe. So whenever he played, I'd flip the laptop or whatever open and just check out the stats. I like just seeing the stats add up. I think Bradley, I would love to see him kind of be that LeBron-y of, hey, I'm going to come out and get everybody involved and then score my points, because he could have, he could average a double assists and points every game if he wanted to. They always talk about how great of a passer he is. And I think he is when he can, when you see it, but I think he could have the opportunity to have, 5, 6, 7 assists a game and 7 rebounds. I really think he could average 14, 7, and 7 a game if he wanted to. It'll be interesting. We have a stretch coming up here after these 2 games that are going to be is brutal. It's brutal. They packed all our tough games in the next month and a half. So, Boise twice, and you got Nevada coming up. You got Fresno State. You got Colorado State again. You got Utah State twice. Then I heard Dutcher talk about the elevation, and the 48 hours in is when your body kind of just takes a toll. I don't know. We'll see how that plays. But then you don't really have any more high altitude games except for maybe Utah State. They can come home and win these 2 games and then come up here to Reno and beat them. And then, we'll see. But I'm really curious to see what they do against Utah State. I don't know what that team's all about. Sometimes I don't know what our team's all about. Honestly.
How many shot clock violations is that, Mateo? It's got to be
And
at least 5.
there's the whole season in a nutshell,
Like,
according to
let's just let Mikey run this whole podcast, dude.
Why are you talking, man?
That must have been like 5 minutes. Good job, man.
But it wasn't
Bravo.
shut up.
That was like the whole
Dude,
season in a
that
nutshell.
was a marathon, man.
A
I don't even know.
marathon.
I don't even know where to start now because like there's like 5 different points. I mean I can't remember the first point.
It was a lot. I'm sorry. I get excited. I
I'm
get
trying
going.
to dissect that. I didn't take notes. My bad. I should have. Because
Hey, I don't take the notes. Notes take me.
I'm not sure I'm really buying the whole fatigue thing because when you're fatigued, you don't shoot free throws very well. And we had the best free throw shooting performance I think I've ever seen from an Aztec team. So I'm not really sure how much the fatigue really came into play. And there were certain guys that didn't play well, but there were certain guys that played really well. And I mean, really what sort of turned that game was in the first half. I think we were down 17-3. We closed on a 26-7 run. And
17-3.
17. Let me start again.
Yeah.
In the first half, we were down 17-13. We close on a 26-7 run. And AG and Jaden Ledee and Keyshawn Johnson were a huge part of that. They absolutely dominated the boards. I mean, you saw Jaden Ledee. I mean, that guy just grab a rebound, put it back up, miss, grab another rebound, put it up, get fouled. I mean, he was just a monster. They couldn't stop him. And so I think that was a huge, huge difference for us, not only hitting those free throws, but also the way that we just absolutely destroyed them on the boards, and that's where, if you're not hitting your 3-point shots and you're having guys who are having an off day, you can make up for that, by getting those boards, getting those second chance opportunities and hitting your free throws.
At the end of the day, 20 more rebounds, 15-4 offensive rebounds, 22 of 23 free throws made, which, that should stop some of the complaining online from all of us Aztecs fans for a little bit. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, we're the oldest team in the Mountain West. Air Force is the youngest team in the Mountain West. So I kind of chop it up to they played bully ball. They out-muscled them, outworked them. They were out-physical. They out-physicaled Air Force, as they should have. So, I don't want to dwell too much on that game. It's a game we should have won. It was a tough game because you're playing at that altitude, but I hear what you're saying, Fiend. There was a reason why. And that's how I chop it up, is that basically we were just too physical for them. Too much.
I give Air Force a lot of credit, though. I mean, with their Princeton-style offense, the way they moved the ball, they had us so confused. We had a lot of miscommunications on switches that gave them easy layups. We were not closing out well on their 3-point shots. They had a lot of open looks. This game could have been totally different if they had hit their open 3-point shots, which they're a really good 3-point shooting team. And they hit their free throws. They were like 4 of 10 from the line. So that was really the difference right there. I mean, this could have been another game that went into overtime.
All right, guys, let's move along. So when looking at the league as a whole, the Mountain West Conference, that win against Air Force obviously helped our cause, but New Mexico helped us out, and they took down Boise State. I believe it was the night before or so, which was a really entertaining game to watch. I hope you guys check that out. So New Mexico, by tiebreaker, them and Utah State, Boise State, Nevada, they're all at 5-2 in the conference. They're all in second place behind us. So we have that first place spot all to ourselves for the time being, and hopefully we can hold on to that. So yeah, that was really great to see. I mean, Boise State, man, they're a tough team, but New Mexico, they're impressive. They're starting to come around a little bit with Mashburn and House, and their big boy, their big center. I can't remember his name. He had that really nice
Udezi.
They found him wide open underneath the basket for the go ahead win in overtime.
Did you guys see the video of Snake? You know, their super fan for New Mexico. He's got the insane clown posse makeup, and I guess he's like friends with the coach, Coach Rice. So he's standing outside before the game, waiting for Boise State to go walk into the arena. And I think it was Max Rice, the coach's son, gives him like a free pair of shoes, So he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he gives him a big hug. And then he turns around and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are going to get got. You're going to get got." I just love it. He's just talking smack to him.
Yeah, you're about to get got.
Him and Coach Rice have a little bit of a history together. Like they're cool with each other, but it's all competition.
Love to see it. I just love the passion from the Mountain West fans. It's awesome.
Why is he a snake and not a wolf?
That's his persona. That's his thing, the snake.
Maybe we'll have to ask Jeff Grammer to do some recon on that.
Yeah.
And you see that thing with the New Mexico? I mean, with the baseball team at halftime? Did you see all that?
Yeah.
That's like just typical New Mexico stuff, dude. Like, I'm just like,
were they hanging outside the locker room trying to
intimidate
Boise? Well,
allegedly they were supposed to be there after halftime, but they were there as the team was coming out for the second half, and they I don't know, I'm sure there was banter and talking and stuff, and I was watching Leon Rice, and he was like, they could have got really physical, man, like if it or it didn't. But I was like, this is kind of the shades of Nevada, a couple of years ago with Utah State. But I don't know, it's just New Mexico doing New Mexico thing. It's just a shit town, man. They're just terrible. They've always been like that, you know what I mean?
Well, more on some Mountain West talk in our shot clock questions, which I know you guys cannot wait to get to. But seeing as though Utah State is this Wednesday night in Viejas Arena. Mike, you're going to be down for the game. We're all going to be there. Tell us a little bit about Utah State, guys. How are we feeling? They're lurking around. They're just one of those programs, they lost the majority of their championship stars, lost their coach to Utah, but they're a quality enough program that they're just hanging around, still steady and successful, trying to, work their way up. And we get to have them in our home this week. What is it, a 7 o'clock game, guys? 7:30, something like that. 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness, past my bedtime.
Which means 8:15 probably.
Well, hopefully it won't be raining and pouring buckets. Only on the court from the Aztecs.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got anything about Utah State?
Well, I think I do. Here's the thing about Utah State.
Fiend's favorite.
They do scare me as a team coming into Viejas, because they are the number one 3-point shooting team in the country, according to KenPom. They shoot as a team 41.5%. And we just talked about how we struggled on the road at Colorado State and at Air Force defending the three on the perimeter. We really struggled these last couple of games. So that is going to have to be a point of emphasis that in practice, Dutcher is going to have to work on with the guys, because we get the number one team for 3-point shooting in the country coming to Viejas on Wednesday. That makes me nervous.
I see Stephen Ashworth. He's hitting at a 48%. No, what is that? He's hitting at a 48%. 69 threes, 48%. He's in 48%. That's pretty much what he shoots, is the three. So Taylor Funk. What do you know about Taylor Funk? He's also hitting at a high clip.
He's a tall forward, transfer from St. Joe's. Good pickup for them. He was one of their star transfers that they picked up in the portal. And so, between him and Ashworth, I think there's a couple others. I think Shulga is another guy who hits from outside. They've got Bairstow's brother. I'm not exactly sure what his 3-point shooting percentage is, but I know he does take threes. As a team, I mean, they're a good 3-point shooting team, and we have to defend really well on the perimeter.
42.7% as a team now. After the other game, they have 5 guys shooting 41% or better from 3-point field goal percentage. Bairstow is 41, Funk 42.4, Homoda 42.9, Idle Rock 42.9, and Ashford 48.6. 48.6 behind the line is ridiculous.
They must just practice threes, all practice. Like, that's all they do.
I mean, it's a smart approach to take. And it's not like these, it's not like they're barely shooting a couple and so their percentages are high. Like, they're launching them. Like, everybody is shooting a wide amount of attempts. So this is something we're going to have to defend.
Well, the other thing is that they're not taking like contested threes. I mean, they're moving the ball and trying to get open shots. So that makes it even more tough, more tough to defend.
Yeah, work cut out for us.
I would like to have maybe some of our taller guys out on the perimeter, like AG and, Parrish and guys with, some length out there to try to contest the threes when they're, firing them. And hopefully we get them to clank a few.
So who's going to cover Ashworth? Who you going to put Butler on him? You going to put Bradley on him, or are you going to put somebody bigger?
Yeah, I think you probably would have to put Butler on him, but I don't know. Ashworth's small too. He looks like Squeak Scolari from the movie Basketball.
But that's Jenkins' bed. Your bed's over here.
Dude, that is so fucking weak. How am I supposed to get a chick in that?
No, don't worry, dude. You couldn't get a chick if you had a $100 bill hanging out of your zipper.
Yeah, I could.
No, dude, you're a little bitch.
I am not.
And the creators of South Park looks just like him.
I don't even know why I hang out with you guys.
Because you're a piece of shit.
I am not a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, but you're a little bitch. Sure.
He's a small guy, and I would like to see a guy like Butler who really hounds, players. I mean, look what he did to Stevens. Stevens had to pass the ball off to Lake for open threes, and he forced him into taking some really tough shots.
I swear you guys rip on me 13 or 14 more times, I'm out of here.
Whatever. Dude, I gotta show you the scoreboard.
I wouldn't mind having our best on-ball perimeter defender guarding their best shooter.
Straight up. So we gave Mike a very difficult time because he had never seen Coming to America, and he did not like it. He hated it. I have never seen Basketball. Is that how you say it?
You've never seen that?
I've never seen it. If I
Oh
did, it's been a
my
long
gosh.
time.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but
Would you guys like South Park?
I love South Park.
Well, if you like South Park, then you would like Basketball.
I absolutely
So basically,
love South Park.
the movie is about these two guys who create a game called Basketball, and it's a combination of baseball and basketball. And what's awesome about it is you can psych out the shooter. So they're saying all types of gross stuff, at the shooter to try to throw them off of their game.
That sounds like me playing rec ball when I was, 12, 13. Dominating. I was a baller.
Pretty much
back
me in
my
the
day,
show.
dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
the show.
yes.
So what do you got cooked up for Utah State, Fiend? What do you got cooked up? What do you got in your arsenal? Because Utah State is the program that you love to hate.
Well, I'm not going to be in the show for this one.
Oh, they're not going to bring it out of you, huh?
I told you guys, man, I'm giving it up to the students. Students got to bring it. I'm
All
not
right,
a student
all right.
anymore, so they need to pick up that torch and carry it.
All right. Well, both of you guys are going to have to bring it because it's time for our shot clock questions. I want to see both of you shoot your shot. Give it your best attempt for this week's bragging rights. The Sons of Montezuma Kiss the Rings shoot your shot competition. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, question number one. Who won last time?
Mike
Won last time. You're on a roll. The ball is in your corner. First question. Which Mountain West Conference road game would you like to make and why? Shoot it.
Ooh. I like to go to New Mexico. I like to go to New Mexico because I've been to quite a few of the other ones already. So see the atmosphere and I've had buddies who are like, dude, it's wild, especially right now if they're good. So that would be the one just to see the atmosphere in the game and stuff. So that would be probably number one on my list.
Very lame answers. Very, very lame.
It's not like I'm gonna go see like, I've never seen Breaking Bad, so I don't have any reference to it. I would go get some of those Hatch chilies, you know what I mean?
Some pollos hermanos, but you don't know about that. All right, Fiend, the ball's in your corner. You got the possession now. Which Mountain West Conference road trip would you want to make and why?
Well, there's several arenas that I would love to go see just because I think the environment on the road it's really tough to win at. But if I were to choose one, I probably would go to the Lawler Center in Reno with my boy Mike Tortolot to go see our Aztecs whoop up on those Wolfpack. And while I'm there, I would show Mikey how to make a proper Chicago deep dish pizza.
You'd be the greatest answer in the history of the Sons of. We'd love to have you up here, Fiend.
Oh man, I think he sunk that one. I think Fiend hit that one from half
He's been
court.
waiting on that for a while to say that.
Good answer. Good answer. I like that. I like that. All right, Fiend, you got possession now. Winners outs. Okay. Between Snake from New Mexico, the Barrel Man from Wyoming, and Rebel Girl from UNLV, who is the most intimidating? Who is the most intimidating super fan of our Mountain West counterparts?
I mean, so Barrel Man is just disgusting. I mean, this is old guy in a barrel, right? And Rebel Girl, I mean, she's just annoying and she doesn't know what she's talking about on Twitter. And I hope she's listening to this podcast. I would have to go with Snake, man, because Snake just has this look in his eye like he's just a crazy dude and you don't want to mess with him. So I honestly, if I were in a dark alley and I saw Snake with that insane clown posse makeup, I would be running the other way.
Oh man, okay. All right, I'll take that answer. Mike,
I don't know who Barrel Girl or Rebel Girl is. I don't know if I've ever seen her, or maybe if I saw her, I would look at it. I mean, Barrel Man's kind of creepy, dude. I feel like he's got a white van with some candies hanging out for kids. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you're sitting there and you're looking down like a guy who looks like a snake and is an ex gang member, and is like, that would be the one. I mean, the one that would probably be the most intimidating to me overall is our own SD Sports Fiend, whistling at you, harassing you, sending you signs with, you know, Reno still sucks and flipping you off and saying, hey, I love you, Mikey. Things like that. The mental masturbation of Fiend would probably be the most intimidating of them all.
So do you guys remember Jaquan Lyle from New Mexico?
No.
Okay, so he a couple years ago, this is in 2020, he had a party where he rented an Airbnb. There were two players who got shot from the volleyball team. Well, I had an Airbnb sign held up in the show, and I think he saw it, and he just laughed. But I don't think I'm that intimidating. But yeah, I do talk smack.
An emotional assassin.
Oh, yeah, I just get in your head.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Terrible. Oh man. Okay. Dang it. Both of you guys gave pretty good answers. I like that Barrel Man with the candies. No, I'm giving it to Fiend. That was a good answer. You got good stuff. Okay, guys, the last shot clock question. Give us your score predictions against Utah State, and how do you see things panning out? Fiend, you got the ball in your possession. Go.
Ooh. Well, I think that this game we need to hold Utah State into 60s if we're going to win this game. So I think we can't come away with the win. We're going to have to play great defense, and the final score is going to be 74 Aztecs. Utah State 69.
Dang. Wow, that's tough to beat. It's kind of tough to beat a 69. I'm not sure about that one. Mike, you got the last second shot. The ball's in your possession.
I think we're gonna win
a Hail Mary shot to win.
I think we're gonna win 125-4 is what my answer is. No, I don't know. I mean, I think they play us tough. I think it's going to be one of those last possession games. I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring than I think Fiend. I think it's going to be like 81-79 in that range. I think it's going to be a high scoring game with us winning, of course.
Wow.
I mean, we put up 70 on you know, I just think with them shooting threes, we have a habit of not being able to stop guys shooting threes that aren't really shooting threes that well. And then you get a team that shoots three well. It might be a different story where they're focusing on the threes because they shoot the threes well. But the last few games, guys have been shooting threes that don't really shoot threes against us. So maybe it's the reverse psychology of, you know, maybe less. But I mean, if they're the number one 3-point shooting team in the country, which we know they're going to focus on, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I think it's going to be in the 80s. I mean, I feel like it's going to be that. And it's going to be right around those numbers, I think, hopefully. And if it's not, I mean, the lower it goes, the better for us.
When's the last time a team has scored 80 points though at Viejas?
Not very much, but I mean, Utah State plays us. Every team has played us well. Look at Colorado State. They took us to the wire. Then they shit the bed against Wyoming, and then Air Force played well. And then, I think, Nevada played well against us, or not really that well. And then they played well in the next game. So Wyoming played well against us, and then they just played terrible after that. So, they're always everybody gets hyped up for us, and they want to come and beat us, especially Utah State. So I think it's going to be in that. I think they're going to be in that number. I mean,
but you got us winning though, right? You got us winning.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
All right. Okay. Wow. Fascinating. Okay. Good answers from both of you. But I got to give the clean sweep to SD Sports Fiend for this episode of Shoot Your Shot. You just can't beat 69, dude. I don't care what 25 and 4. You just can't do it.
Sweeping Mikey off the board.
This game's stupid. What's your speech?
Well, I'm the man. The sandwich aficionado went down again. SD Sports Fiend on top for another week.
Well, I mean, that was the second time you won, and I think one of them, Matt, said he probably should have given it to me. So I congratulate you. Hey, I was rooting for you. I
could feel the love. Yes, very good. All right, guys, very well. It's gonna be good to have both of you in San Diego, in Viejas, for this week's two games. Before we go, guys, just want to give everybody a big thank you for watching on YouTube. We are officially past 500 subscribers, so just a big thank you to everybody for checking it out, spending your time, and checking out what we got to say about Aztecs basketball and football. We have some awesome interviews coming up. I had a chance to interview the president of the Mesa Foundation, so definitely look out for that one coming up. And we also had a golden opportunity, guys, to interview one of the all-time Aztec legends. We've interviewed quite a bit of them already now, so I'm really excited to put that one out there very, very soon. So, hey, for all you 500 subscribers on YouTube, 502, keep an eye on for that. All right, guys, how we feeling? We feeling good? Utah State, San Jose State also on Saturday. San Jose State, we didn't get into that one, but everybody check out our preview articles this week on sonsofmontezuma.com. We'll be detailing the matchups and recovering from the game and covering the game.
Yeah, go check out the articles. Great articles by everybody. Everybody does a great job. And I'm excited to get back in the house, the madhouse on the Mesa.
Yes. All right, on behalf of the guys, Mike Tortolot, SD Sports Fiend, Mateo San Diego signing off, sonsofmontezuma.com. Go Aztecs.
Let's go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. Let's get another run going.
And even driving dimes if he's not looking at shoes. A-Dub, Slave 2, catching all the D's.